Imagine there was a way to raise rents 20, 30, 40% on your next rental. In today's video, we're gonna be going over those tips and tricks on how to do so, and it is really, really creative, something you're gonna wanna listen to. So make sure you stick around to the end on this video because there's so many tips, there's so many tricks. Your property right now today might be able to benefit from these tips and tricks that we're gonna be discussing in today's video. And if you're looking to buy a house, whether you're house hacking or an investment property, whichever way you're looking to go, this is going to be super crucial because I'm sick and tired of people complaining all the time that I'm barely breaking even or I'm not breaking even. Well, guess what? This video is going to make sure you have a clear way of getting a little bit more cash, and in some cases a lot more cash, on your next investment property or your existing investment property. My name's Shawn McEnteer. I'm the house hacking realtor of Northern New Jersey and the team leader of the Living in North Jersey real estate team. I get phone calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking to house hack, buy, sell, and invest in Northern New Jersey. This is the perfect channel for you if you're looking for everything that's happening in North Jersey real estate. Make sure you click subscribe so you can be the first to know about future videos when they come out and you can stay up to date on everything happening. So this is a major topic that I see all the time, especially on real estate forums where people are chiming in saying, every time I analyze a deal, it does not make sense. I'm barely breaking even, if at all. Look, first things first, that's not that bad of a spot, just so you know. If you are breaking even on your first deal, you are in a pretty decent spot. Believe it or not, none of the properties that my wife and I purchased when we purchased our house hacks were cash flowing on day one. The process of renovating, the process of getting new tenants in there, the process of rents going up over the years and everything like that has made it so things look a lot better now. But when we first purchased, being in that break-even spot's not that bad to begin with, all right? Because you're gonna get the tax advantages, you're gonna get a lot of the other benefits, you're probably gonna reduce the payment that you're making every month if you're house hacking. But let's say there's a way of actually making it even better, because there is. And I'm seeing it every single day where people are just looking at, they're going to see multifamily homes and they're like, okay, what is one unit rent for? What is the other unit rent for? Okay, there we got the numbers and we call it a day. That's great. That's one strategy, but there are alternatives out there that can get you more cash flow. And it does not have to be a long-term rental, call it a day, one and done type attitude. If you're open-minded to making more money, this is the perfect video for you. And we're going to be discussing those strategies today. So make sure you stick around to the end. You don't want to miss these out because I sure as heck know you probably want to make a little bit more money in your pocket. I'm right there with you, and we're going to be talking about that. I have reach outs happening all the time, and I love hopping on calls with new clients. If you want to learn a little bit more about how to house hack, buy, sell, or invest in Northern New Jersey, feel free to book a call below. I'll put that in the description. The thing that I'm always looking for on properties is if there is some level of distress, it is nice to update, renovate, do that kind of stuff. I've talked a lot about that in previous videos, so I won't go into crazy detail on that. But anytime you can renovate a property, increase the value, you're doing a couple things. You're forcing the appreciation, you are raising the rents. That gets you to a much better spot. Now look, you might not be handy, not a big deal, because we can still find turnkey strategies that really are beneficial. And that's really what I'm gonna be talking about today, is whether you're renovating or buying a turnkey, the strategies I'm gonna discuss, my next tips, are gonna be very beneficial for you for getting those rents up. Really what this comes down to is getting creative. You want to make sure that you have something that's a little bit different than the traditional sense where you have 2 units, you rent out 1 unit, you rent out the other, and you're done. Well, you can be creative, whether it's maybe a garage space, parking spots, which I've got clients that do all of this, where garage spaces are renting for a large sum of cash. They are a couple $100s a month, which is pretty awesome considering it's just a garage space. There's very little maintenance that you have to do as a landlord. Not all of these even have power running to them. If there is power, electric going to it, it's even better. So just imagine renting out a port and a garage for $300 a month to maybe a local landscaper or handyman or whatever it is. People are doing that every single day. So if you have multiple garage spots on a property, that is such an awesome advantage that you can have for renting out additional space. Parking spots is another thing. There is a lot of opportunity to rent out a parking spot, especially to maybe other multifamilies in the area that don't have off-street parking. So having rental space, having a large parking lot on a multifamily becomes very, very beneficial when it comes time for making additional cash flow. The two strategies though that I really want to dive into, and I'm going to be doing that in just a little bit, is the short-term rental and the midterm rental. Both are really good and can be extremely beneficial. Before I dive deep with those two strategies, I want to know, do you have an investment in property? Why don't you drop a comment below and let us know. Another creative strategy is garden plots. Believe it or not, I have a client who actually rents out garden space in the back of his multifamily to other people in the neighborhood. They have a lot of sunlight, they have a lot of everything going on. So he says, why not rent out garden space? And it's a pretty cool idea. He's making an extra $75 a month for having a little plot in there. It's really awesome. So you can get creative with renting out different things. So these strategies I'm going to be talking about, the short term and the midterm rental, they're really good if you are a house hacker. By all means, you can still do this if you're a standard investor. I've got clients doing it both ways, but I always just like to say that house hacking has this unfair advantage for new investors where you're living in the property, you can systematize it, get everything working, and then once you move out, you have a fully functioning property. So being open-minded to a short-term rental or a midterm rental strategy as a house hacker can really compound fast. But if you're just an investor and you're not looking to own or occupy, this still works as well. Short-term rentals. What's good about these is you're gonna have people coming in for a very short period of time, typically under 30 days. And you can utilize spaces that, might not be standard in terms of having renters. For example, I have a client who rents out basement space. He's got the ceiling height, he's got the windows, he's got everything. The town says he's not supposed to be doing short-term rentals, but no one's ever really stepped in and given him pushback. So he continues to do it. And if he ever has to cross that line with the town, he'll make it happen when it does, but he hasn't really had that issue yet. So that's probably one of the first objections that I want to talk about with the short-term rentals is the fact that there is a lot of pushback there because it's under 30 days. Towns crack down on it. Some towns do, some towns don't. Every town is different in northern New Jersey, so you want to watch out to see which ones are a little more strict, which little ones that aren't. Most towns have some form of regulation against it, but not all towns enforce it. So if you wanted to do a short-term rental strategy, you could, but I would just suggest treading water lightly there because you never know if someone's going to step in. But this is where you have a backup plan, and that's where midterm rental comes into play. Midterm rental is 30 days or longer, typically under 1 year. What we're seeing is on most midterm rentals, they're gonna be anywhere from 3 months, 6 months, some go up to 9 months, which is pretty awesome. And believe it or not, some actually go over a year. They start as midterm and they just stay because they love the space so much. But what's so great about having the midterm is it's very tough for someone to step in and say, you can't do this because it's over that 30-day marker. And it's really set up very similar to a short-term rental. Both properties, both types of investing, you're going to want to fully furnish it. You're going to want to do unique things. You're going to want to spice it up a little bit. It's not just going to be a vacant, empty unit. You're going to put beds in, you're going to put couches in, television, all that kind of stuff. Spend a little bit more money. We're seeing somewhere around like that $8,000 to $10,000 or so, depending on the size of the unit, to fully furnish a property. You got to keep in mind they need silverware, they need plates, they need cups, they need all that kind of stuff, toilet paper. So everything needs to be included. And it's like you're living at home away from home. That's always how I look at a short-term rental or a midterm rental. So there are a little bit more expenses up front, but what we're seeing, which is so magical with all this, is the fact that you're getting a substantially larger amount of rent every single month. at a minimum, we see a 20% increase. In many cases, we're seeing 30 or 40% more, sometimes 50% more in rent. So if you have, let's say, a $2,000 a month long-term rental, that's maybe a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, there's a really good shot that you could see that being 24, 25, 26, maybe even $3,000 a month in rent if you're doing a midterm or short-term rental strategy. People are gonna pay a premium because it's a shorter stay. When you have a shorter stay, it costs a little bit more money. So that's one of the major unfair advantages that you're gonna get out of having a property that is a shorter stay compared to a long-term rental, is the raise in rents. Since we're on the topic, why don't you drop another comment below? Let me know if you already are doing midterm rentals. Just let me know. I'm always curious to get your feedback. So what's really wild about these is people are, always come to me like, well, does it rent? Are people doing this? Like, I have a client right now who just got his midterm rental rented for the very first time last month. He is booked for the next few months and he's getting more inquiries for the months that follow. He's got multiple guests coming in. First time doing it. He's absolutely killing it. What matters most when finding a midterm or short-term rental is making sure that you have the proper location, proximity to places, transportation, highways, commuter rails, all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure that you are in an area where it's high demand, that they're going to come and want your unit. So there's key factors like that to play a role, but it's one of those things that is such an awesome unfair advantage. I have another client who literally has a unit. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. He had it rented for $2,200 and now he's getting it rented for $3,400. And all he has to do is essentially have an extra tenant turnover, which you can systematize. So it's not that crazy when it comes time to have someone move out. What's great about the midterm rental strategy is that people want to make sure that they have a good name, good reputation, because you're finding a lot of these individuals on sites like Furnished Finder, Airbnb, these other places. So they want to make sure they keep their high rating. They are looking good. So when it comes time to move to another property, maybe they're going somewhere around the country, they can find a property easily. So there's a lot of good things happening here where you don't have to move crazy with the tenant screening like you would on a long-term rental. You're still doing everything you can to make sure that you're protected, but a lot of the websites that people are using will validate their history for you, so you know who you're getting and you're safe and everything is working in a really cordial, fun manner. So if you want to make more money on your next investment property, midterm and short-term rental strategies might be the way to go. And if you want to hop on a call and learn a little bit more about what it can do to help in northern New Jersey, feel free to book a call below. I get phone calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking to buy, sell, and invest in Garden State. So I am here to help and be a guide for you on your next house hack, forever home, or whatever it is that you're looking to buy. If you want to learn a little bit more about midterm rentals, why don't you click the video right here, and that will bring you right to that video that's going to share some more details and show you what a midterm rental looks like.